right. We are live. I don't know if I need to turn up the gain for them, but I will do a noise. Oh. We will do a noise suppression just in case. All right. Cool. So we are getting ready for our Christmas show, and we need to take inventory for ornaments. But our garage is a disaster. So we are.
So there's a bunch of little stuff in it.
Well, let's do everything that needs to go upstairs.
I don't know why. Okay. This is drill bits.
Definitely need these to not be able to sort whether or not they're going to the mall or Pittsburgh. So we were live last night, and this is the start of the dice tower. It's dried up nicely. One of the viewers recommended that we do a forest green on the outside and a light brown on the inside. So once this gets bisqued, we'll get that painted. Crazy the amount of stuff that people accumulate. We combine to household. And we're not done going through and one table down.
Allie, you freaking scared the shit. There was something on it that I was going to break by doing that. Where do you go, fire and ground here?
Garbage. Farther than I.
Set it outside, I guess. I don't know. Just set this out of the way.
Okay. So we have about 1,700 different, careful, it's not as solid as you think it is. And that's actually looking pretty good. We're gonna see if I can actually wedge it later. Because if I can wedge it, then I can have more time to throw. Because I'm not opening my next thing of oh, we have a Simon watching us. The stream suddenly stopped. Is this intentional? No. Try to.
That from yesterday too.
Yeah, that door's still closed. Okay. I know, we try not to have the dust go upstairs. But I think.
You need a booster.
Yeah. We may have to get a booster down here. We're gonna have to see where we end up legitimately throwing. more stuff from all. So we have about 17 to 1800 different varieties of ornaments. Each of those ornaments, we have anywhere from 1 to 36 of each variety. And no, it looks like you're still alive.
Get rid of this.
So we have to take inventory, and then we have to split it off into 2 different shows so that we can bring roughly the same amount to each show.
I just put those inside too, but Carlos taken
What?
the fire extinguishers.
Oh.
He probably would.
Maybe. We have to figure out if any of you guys know in chat what we're legitimately supposed to do with expired extinguishers. Please let us know, because we don't know the answer to that question. Where's the bunch?
This is what I know.
So I think I'm safe to talk about this here. So I don't think anyone from my Sunday night game is watching. But tonight, I'm working on endgame stuff because every year we play a game that runs from January sometime into October. And this year, they've been doing all homebrew stuff. And we are super duper overpowered. But that's okay. We planned for it. And
I don't feel super duper overpowered.
not anymore.
I mean, I don't know. Skateboarding is good, but I'm also discombobulated with the 17th, 18th level character that I've never played but once.
But you switched characters right at the end because
By choice, not by choice.
your character became the Spelljammer setting where you left Ravnica and his character didn't want to go to the new world because we're starting the new world.
He disagreed with how the new world should be run, and he'd rather stay on his own world, which is run the way that he wants.
So
That was Arcane Hand Monk from the Dungeon Dudes. Highly recommend if you get the opportunity to play it.
which was, well, I'm saying it was overpowered, but realistically, you were keeping up with the Paladin, which I think Paladins in D&D are way overpowered.
Yeah, but mine was sustainable.
That's true.
It wasn't sustainable.
That's true.
Just when I was concentrating on a 5th level spirit shred, I think is the show, and it was mediate on top of concentrating on a 5th level spell for plus 10 damage for every hit. Plus, I feel like I had something else adding damage. So that I was consistently hitting for like, I don't know, somewhere between 25 and 30 damage a hit, and I was getting like 4 attacks a turn with flurry of blows.
I know I'm not checking the stream chat much, but you know, if you're watching, say something. Let us know our audio is okay, etc. I know we're not doing anything super interesting today, but this is one of those things that we've been avoiding doing for over a year. And it's, you know, everything we do, we do while talking about gaming stuff. I figured we would go live. And I'm hoping to wedge that clay from last night at the end of this. But we have dust.
Okay.
Lots of dust. Ceramics are a dusty business. And any ceramists out there? If you don't want to feel bad about how your studio looks, check out mine. Mine's never clean. Ever.
Alright, so
I don't know what's in those boxes. That's fine.
these are done.
Okay.
Those are done, but I think those are the half boxes, and then these are full boxes.
Cool.
But what that means is they can probably be just moved.
You threw something at me and expected me to catch it on camera. Ooh.
These tattoos aren't fully sealed either, so perfect.
So, I bring trash bags to the mall with us. And we just uncovered some, which is awesome. I bought more if I don't have to open that box yet. Cool, because pottery needs to be bagged so that it doesn't dry too fast and it doesn't crack.
It's hard because my thought process is shit over there and I can't do it.
No, we can't do that.
It needs to come buried next.
Yep.
Damn well.
Another girls. If you've ever had to combine 2 full households, wow, what did you do with all of your stuff? Like, it's crazy the amount of duplicate stuff that we have.
I want a bigger garbage can. Allie, I need a bigger garbage can.
I know you do. So this is my clay. I specifically bought this clay because it bisques to 04, which is the same as what my trees bisque to. But upcoming next year, I'm going to be buying a bunch of new clay.
Was it possible to get a bigger garbage can before we do all the house transfer?
Yeah, we have to pay for the for the transfer and whatnot.
Yeah. That's, like, I just can't.
Well, a lot of that is cardboard and
Yeah, you would just throw it in the trash.
I know.
And it would have been fine if it fit. And open mold, but like 3 kitchen garbage. No, a little bit more than that.
And we've been so busy with the games and trying to get trip orders out that all of this has gone by the wayside. So, I need to organize those.
This one's probably just gonna have to get drug out.
Yeah.
And that one I'm planning to break down as well.
Okay. So we've put our laptop on a filter so that the fan doesn't draw as much dust in here. I'm hoping it works.
In theory, that's going back here, so this stuff could actually stay here for a minute.
Yeah. Those hooks I need to organize by size. So I know Dad would like to have the board sticking out on his side, but I'm wondering if we should do them staggered.
Yes.
So like the first one sticking out on his side, the second one sticking out on my side, the third one sticking out on his side.
Yes.
Okay. It's an old pouring table or pouring slip machine. Oh, no idea what to do with expired fire extinguishers. Let's see if they work.
Can you open the garbage can? I was actually a lot quicker than I had anticipated.
Well, get started on it. It's
Now you clear off all the shelves.
trying to keep the dust down with all of the equipment in here. Um, I was wishing I had this the other day.
That to be happy and it wasn't.
This would be a nice table to have my water on.
I don't know what these are.
Let me put them there. What is counted? Those. Okay.
These are not the best bits either. I know, just saying. Maybe those were the last ones to come over.
Okay.
Alright, bring these down, go and use the bathroom.
Okay. If anybody is watching at this point, I'd love to know how our sound is. Um, but yeah, so they're in the final mix of Christmas trees. Base tree. But yeah, we're in our final fight for my Sunday night game, and they've already found they beat a mountain. It was a volcano that was turned into a golem. And they found the thing inside of it to make it be a golem. And it was actually the rune that when they went back to their homeworld, they hadn't looked into it, which is fine. But they're going to be I think it's all the ceramic stuff. Okay. They're going to be finding a cave with that same etching on the outside. And unfortunately, I'm going to railroad them into the cave because I need them to start endgame. And if they're not railroaded in, then something is going to happen where they're going to be enticed into it or something. So, these boxes you can't stack very high because the boxes are heavy and they'll collapse each other. So we have to be careful. Oh, my mini books. Okay. Do you know where that?
Smash, 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 smash in the trash. That's my motto. Really, that entire bag could be like.
Okay. So, do we have a ladder for you to climb?
Or I think that's an academy.
Of course, it can't just be simple. We have to have stuff on top of the boxes. Random hook. Where all these random hooks come from?
I don't know.
But I'm organizing all my hooks because some go over, some go under, over, or short, some are long. So I'm organizing them all this year for the first time ever. And then I need a ratchet set. We only own like 10 of them.
These two are not counted, but no. They've made us a little bit more room.
So here's what I'm thinking.
Uh-huh.
Oh, we're only putting down stuff over there. Never mind. I'm thinking wrong.
You know what was for dinner? Was it burgers or fajitas?
Burgers. I still need to make you veggie burgers.
As in, like, make them or cook them?
I should just be intelligent and turn the laptop.
What's it?
I said I should just be intelligent and turn the laptop.
So for some reason, the gold shelves held up better than these. But maybe the boards were spaced out better and they're not spaced out enough here. Because like those bins never get squished at the ends and these do.
Yeah, they need to, the boards need to fill this entire thing and step over a little bit.
Okay. I prefer the cabin ladders.
Okay. Let's move this over a little bit more. Am I using a throwing board to use my mouse on? 100%. Okay. All right. I have a game. I talked about it previously in our posts. That is rebooting. And because I've been so busy with everything, I've been neglecting them. But hopefully this week we will, I'll get back to it again. We'll get there. Thankfully, I have good players that understand work-life balance and trying to accomplish everything at once. And I don't know. But yeah, I want to get back into throwing again. That was a lot of fun last night, and I want to at the end of tonight, I want to try to wedge that fly.
Yeah, I'm crazy. I'll be playing GC20 from 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. But we're leveling to 4 tonight.
Awesome.
Trying to figure out what I want to spend my 2 a.m. substitute points on.
Mini tree box. Couch drawer. Oh, did I knock him off the ladder?
What skill?
Yeah. We have no such thing. Giggles. Yay! Look at those.
This is the box for that shitty over.
Oh, it's empty. Okay. let's.
This is heavy. Oh, now I know why. Fucking hooks. Somebody hooks on the top shelf.
Mr. King.
Broken people. That block down there might be extra once we fix this. I just needed it to support.
Yeah, I don't know. That has a support one too. That one back there has a support one.
I just noticed the bottoms were caving. Watch splinters.
Um,
Is that how wide we want it, or
um,
I saw a measuring tape earlier?
I think this is how wide we want it. Oh, you know what though? We need to make sure that 4 bins fit across. So. Okay, well, yeah.
Sorry, maybe in a minute.
It's okay. Um,
Yeah, I think the first two could go on his side, maybe. The first one's gonna be way too low over here.
Yeah.
That could like set the bucket, maybe the bucket. And then the next one up could be for his tools.
Yep.
And then the next one up could be to hold stuff for you. It's gonna be up here anyway. And that last one, it doesn't really matter. It's gonna be too high for anything really. It's the last, or the ones. Go prep for their winter.
Which side do we want this a little bit wider on? I don't think this side. I think this side.
Yeah. That side. That's more room.
Who needs measuring tape when you've got lids?
Yeah. And the one board size, it's really big.
And no one should go on the outside.
I think it's this.
How much off is it?
But they need to be like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like all the way hanging over the edge. I don't know which way. That way it dips, but I think the blocks will fit on there better. Coming through. Fluid truck.
What?
Fluid truck.
Fluid?
Fluid. I don't know what it is. It's sort of across the street.
So we always do our bricks with the holes facing outward. Because we use them as hidey holes for our stuff. They get really dusty though. But
Before we put the next layer of boards on, you want to recheck this to make sure that it's still good?
Yes. It's fine. Perfect. I've got like 3 inches to spare.
Yeah. This is good for the time that we had it here.
Yeah.
But oh man.
You got dusty.
Well, there was a reason that I didn't shower when I got up today, because I figured I'd be taking one after this.
That's perfect for the fucking bucket over here.
I have converted you to
I
a fucking bucket.
like it.
It's awesome. It makes you not really care when you break something, because bucket in the bucket.
You know.
Huh. Missing a board.
It fell down to the back.
No, it's on the board.
Yeah.
Is this one, is that good there? Or does this one need to face in? Is that too low with the, like, is that going to get in the way of cleaning trees?
Get in the way of cleaning trees.
Yeah, the tree's going to end up hitting it. You need that up higher. Should that be the next one? And not this one?
What? I'm sorry, I don't understand.
Oh, the board's going to hit the trees when you're cleaning them.
Nope. Not at all. My table's gonna reach 2 here. But this will be really nice to put my supplies on for when I'm throwing. Or to put the laptop on. Thank you. So when I'm recording.
I wasn't sure about leaving that walkthrough. I'm really glad that I did.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It's actually going a lot quicker and smoother than I had anticipated. It's only like 1 o'clock too.
You worry too much.
I did. I think it's only like 1:30. Yeah. All right. So that's exciting.
What?
So I'm pretty sure we're on then. Roll with Us DMs will be live streaming my Halloween one shot on Friday, October 18th, 8 p.m. Eastern, with currently Claudio and PM Corey. That is awesome.
And I will either be running stream or playing. I'm probably going to be running stream.
Question is,
Okay. give yourself a splinter, please?
Well, I was trying to avoid it by breaking it off. So the biggest advantage of what we're doing right now is it's going to allow us to have an organized way of doing this instead of what we attempted at first, which is as we finish counting them, we have an empty spot to stack the done ones instead of working on top of ourselves. So this is a great idea, probably a combo idea because we work well together.
I don't think I can get any higher than this.
Okay. Okay.
I sit.
Like, I think it's just kind of like, I'm not necessarily the strongest guy.
You are a lot stronger than you make yourself out to be.
But I mean, I think that guys are just typically built stronger.
I agree.
Women can work at it and be stronger than guys. But baseline, I think it's just easier for us. That's not a sexist statement whatsoever.
Sorry. Exactly, not to. But guess what?
What?
My new bats are here for throwing on.
Nice.
Guys, there are so many cool tools and glazes and clay and stuff that I want to play with. Come January, you'll see a bunch of it. I don't know how you're doing that. If you hurt yourself, I'm going to be really cranky.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's just guys are reckless. I don't know.
Oh. Ooh, I have another shelf of food. Put pottery up there.
And at some point, I am going to need a ladder to straighten this out.
I'm having a very hard time not cleaning my glasses on my shirt. I got new glasses, and I'm trying not to wreck them by scratching them all out. But I did get 2 pairs, and these are my work glasses, so I fully expect these to get scratched up. The other ones, on the other hand, I only wear out of the house when I go places. So, ooh.
I know you would think that after getting dusted once.
Well, you were close to the light bulb there. Oh, I'm excited to have these little shelves.
This one, I mean, you could hang something off of it, maybe.
That's true.
It's not going to be good for much else. But
No, you're an inch or 2 taller than me.
hang a basket.
Okay.
You could hang it off of.
Oh, you know those planters, the planters with the rope. I don't know what they're called. They have a specific name. But the planters with the rope, I could hang that and I could put tools in it.
Yeah. This is the success of rolling with this DM. This 2 brains are better than one.
Also that he puts up with all of my crazy ideas.
Like this.
They go live and just. I do have to say.
Slightly cranky about that too.
You were. I do have to say though, I feel like going live we worked a lot faster.
Yeah, actually, which is surprising. I would not have anticipated that.
We just kept yelling.
Well, yeah, people can't see us lazy. That would be no good. I don't know. I don't know what the best case for this board is. Like, that's really bowed. The other way it's bowed up.
I would do it the other way and let the heaviness of whatever we're putting up there bow it back down.
But the problem is, like, getting something over this hump, and then if it doesn't get pushed down, there's going to be a lip you're going to have to fight to get things off the shelf.
Yeah, but I don't
It
think.
should be in the back.
Maybe. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Well, because otherwise, it depends on how far back it goes. But if it goes back beyond this board, if you're trying to pull it off, it's like when you put something too tall in a drawer and you can't open it.
Yeah.
It's going to cause that.
I don't even know. Honestly, once all of the show stuff gets organized as to what show it goes to, we should probably put show stuff up there.
Yeah. Okay. So.
Yeah, I agree. Push it back 1.
Back 1 or all the way to the back?
Either way. I don't think it needs to go all the way to the back, but I do think it. I think you're right. I think it needs to go on its back 1.
Alright, so I just think back to last year, and we were like freaking killed last year, but for some reason, maybe it's because we haven't been as like inundated, but like we always like order stuff that.
We didn't go after any orders this year.
But it's no. That's the thing though is that we um like worked on this incredibly hard last year, and this year, like in October. But this year, that is not the case. Because I remember a week and we busted all this out, but this is a lot. But step one is done.
Step one is done.
Unless this was like step two, because like the tables empty, it was 2 and this was 3. We did 3 steps, make us feel better. Hey, each step's worth XP, I'll take it.
That's Jesse's ladder.
Yeah. Well, we should just buy it from
Buy her a new one.
her. Yeah, at this point. So.
I'm definitely happy with those. I'll definitely, maybe I can macrame. I'll ask Jessie if she'll make me some macrame baskets.
So the ones that are done, we want to put on there?
Yeah, I think the ones that are done we want to put on there.
Which is these here.
Okay. I think the big question is, what else do we want to accomplish?
At the very minimum, we should set ourselves up for tomorrow to. Is this okay? It looks like it's, and I know it's stable, but it looks like it's not straight.
It might not be straight. I wanted to leave extra room because we need to put a tarp.
Yeah.
So that it doesn't get dusty from the back.
Okay.
When we really get crazy.
But not being straight doesn't matter?
Not being straight doesn't matter. That's fine.
Okay, because I think it's.
Yeah. I think what I want to do with the tables, I think I want to leave room on this side of the shelf for a chair. Put a row of tables down the center.
Yeah.
And then chairs on the other side.
Yeah.
So that when we're done, whoever's on this side can just.
So one of the things that we could do to set ourselves up is put these on there. And then move all of this stuff back into that space.
Yeah.
That way we have this area to set the tables up. We set the tables and then see where we're at. That's it.
Yeah, and it would be because everything is in so many different boxes and we have so much over here too. I feel like we need to, when we get started tomorrow, we really need to figure out where.
So this should.
Is that half and half for?
Yeah. Is wide.
Okay.
But it should probably have its own lid.
Do we have a marker? I saw the mall box somewhere and that would have a marker.
Would you like to find a lid for that one? Just that one can.
Okay.
It's gonna fill with dust. That was my quickie solution.
Okay, I'm hoping that I can find a marker. So that I can mark what these things are.
Yeah.
And where they're going.
I'm trying to think if I can actually like distinguish what is what here, but I can't. I can't because I was gonna say all of this stuff was mall stuff and that was all travel stuff, but that's not true. Because everything ended up over there, didn't it? Yeah. We took what we could, filled this, cleaned that off, filled that.
Right, and like some things only have one box because we fit it all into the mold, and some things have 2 boxes because we couldn't fit it all into the mold.
Yeah. But now we can actually see what we have, which is good.
Yeah.
We couldn't see it before.
Oh, there's a tape measure.
Did we do married? I don't think we did.
Yeah.
We did?
Mike and I did married.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So we'll do. What are we thinking?
So yeah, there's definitely some room.
Okay. I'm thinking purple blue for one and pink yellow for the other.
Travel versus.
For travel versus small.
Okay.
All right. Okay. So.
All right, I'll look for you.
This is not a great marker. That's okay. Travel is going to be pink yellow. Not that anyone really cares, but you know.
No, it's easy.
Yeah. I know I saw tape around here somewhere.
Yeah. I think that support in the bottom was because we used to put hooks in the bottom. I think that's why.
Oh, okay.
I put the tape upstairs. I can go get it.
Okay. I feel like I saw it today. But...
Yes, I had just put it upstairs today.
Oh. Cool.
You know what I think I might like for dinner actually? Is I think, I don't know, making veggie burgers probably too much work.
This marker sucks.
Mm.
Find another.
So what I was thinking was salad, mostly lettuce, right? And then I can cook up to like cut peppers, onions, a can of beans, some tomatoes, make like a dressing.
Okay. We have that dressing shaker too.
And throw that a bunch of cooked veggies on top of lettuce.
Okay. I hate Sharpies. Hate them, fiery burning passion. I get that Crayola markers run in water, but they never freaking dry out. unlike Sharpies that last, I don't know, 10 times if you're using them. So
Yeah, I probably wouldn't want the bun anyway. Maybe. Maybe not. Might be better. I don't know. How are you gonna make veggie burgers?
with my old recipe, with the seasonings and the vegetables and the oatmeal all ground up.
I mean, that sounds good. It's really a lot of work. Right?
I mean, the blender does all the work.
Hmm. But this one,
That was done.
I believe that's here.
And that's for the mall. So do you want to put it one higher?
You can.
My strategy here is if we can put all of the full travel bins on the bottom and then the half empty bins on top of them.
Yeah, this is half empty.
Yep. What can I help you with? What else do we need? What is that couples?
No, I think it's, I don't know, just wedding, right? Or, I don't know, whatever you guys did. I don't know what this is.
I don't feel like we did couples.
That's couples.
Yeah, I don't feel like we did couples.
Well, I don't know why they were with those. Maybe we did 8 bins though. I thought. No, was it only 6? No, we didn't do couples. We did camping. So the couples needs to come off of here. I don't know where the camping is done. I thought that they were all together.
Out of everything that we do, couples are definitely the largest amount. Camping, hunting, fishing. Hiking. Do you know where that box of markers went to?
No. That's it though. I guess we only did 8 bins anyway. I need to pull those off, and we need to find the champion hunting, which I don't know. This. And then we have to move all of this out of the way so we can put the tables through here and get stuff for tomorrow.
Yeah. How many? 3 should fit under a table. So.
So, clearing that off would allow these to slot in there.
Okay.
Instead of on the floor.
And that blue bin, those 2 blue bins are probably hooks. Nope. What if they went, Gary? Up there.
Well, here's 2 extra cinder blocks.
Whoa, did you go underneath the wheel?
These are bags. Yeah. Gift bags.
Now we know what those are.
Gift bags.
Okay. Do we have a lid?
That was on top of it. But this is the POS. This is not a careful lid either. That will be better than stepping on the floor. It's the inventory these take. I've been to upstairs counting while they were watching TV.
I know they would do it down here. They would do a couple bins a day.
What the hell is it?
But they also had a much smaller inventory than we have.
Hmm.
I mean, we've doubled the inventory, we might have tripled the inventory since we've taken over.
Where?
There's more weather.
Adventure Fish, is that it?
I don't think these might have the right bin names on them, but I don't know. With the extra POS, maybe we can decide if we want. I think the big one for the mall is good.
There's more room on there, by the way. We're not getting back to it right now. That's another question is like, do we want to clear that out so we can get to those?
I don't think not at the moment. I think I have to organize the hooks and all the other stuff first. I'll talk to Ryan to see if he needs the van.
We need it just to run track out of here.
Do we have the lid to this?
I don't know. There's a lid there. It's
Yeah.
on that bin.
No. Oh, is that the right? Yeah, I guess it's
Yeah.
Okay, so now we know we're looking for a dark red lid. I need to ask Dad if we can get rid of these cash registers. There's no reason to keep them. All right. Well,
Santori's excited that Claudio's playing, and Claudio's response was, "Oh, sick."
Nice. All right. I feel like we should start with wedding because we have more wedding right here. And we should be able to fill up those bins with it. So when we put the tables down, I think we should put that on top of the tables. I start there tomorrow.
Okay.
All right. I did these 3 high so that they go underneath the tables easily.
Oh. But we also didn't find the camping bin, right?
Yeah, I think they'll go. I mean, I didn't grow legs and walk away, so.
Is it those there? Yeah, those are them.
Oh, yeah.
Brilliant idea, Allie.
What?
Packing them in the middle like this.
Oh.
3 high so that the table go on top and they're completely out of the way. That's brilliant. Then we just have to find a spot for this. These are going to go on the shelf.
At least we need to buy bins.
So yeah, as long as they're in the containment.
Yeah, that's true. I'm stuck on something. I'm stuck.
Yeah, check. That's okay. Like the one bin. Why are we putting the trouble on the lower shelves?
Because they're going to be there longer than the mole ones.
Yeah.
And I don't know, you put the heavy stuff on the bottom so that when you.
Oh, that's true. Okay. Perfect sense. I forget where you can tell if. Oh, Kyle's watching or what?
Thanks for hanging out with us today.
I don't know if he still is. Stream with. I can't tell if anybody's watching.
I'm tired. You did all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, I'm pretty tired too. Nice to see where the magic happens. How do you make the trees with the LED lights on them? That's a bit of a process, but it's not nearly as involved as people might think. I don't think, just from my outsider experience living.
Well, we'll have to get you pouring one day.
Yeah.
The chocolate shop actually wants pictures of us working, so we'll have to do that.
So it's liquid clay that gets poured from a machine, gets pumped through a hose into
Like a gasoline pump.
Like a gasoline pump, yeah. Into molds, and then it sits in the mold for a certain amount of time. I've been doing like 20 minutes lately, and that allows the mold to wick away a lot of the moisture. So then, after that time, you dump out what's left in the mold, and then it needs to sit and dry more, depending on how big the mold is. Depends on how long it sits. Some of them we pour late at night and then let them sit overnight. Some of them get taken apart almost immediately. I say almost immediately because usually those are the ones that you pour first, so that when you're done pouring everything else, those can come apart. And then that's the process of cracking the mold open.
You don't crack it open.
No, like
you undo
pull
the
it
rubber bands
and pull it apart, but
yeah.
It's not like you bang it, but sometimes with a rubber mallet. And then the molds need to be cleaned off if there's any goop left in them. And then trees sit out to dry. And then when they're no longer wet and they can be almost like sanded gently with a green scour pad and an X-Acto knife to clean off the rough edges. Usually then they get fired in the kiln. That makes them bisque so that they're hard and you could tap on them and they'll ding, but they won't, they're not going to crumble like greenware. Then they go to the painting room to get painted, which currently is downstairs in the basement. We're hoping next year to have an extra workroom built in the back here that will allow us to do it all on one floor. But they get painted and then they get put back in the kiln to be fired the second time to fire the glaze. Then they get brought back down to the painting room where they get lights glued in them. The lights that you were speaking of, they're just plastic pegs that are illuminated by a light bulb inside the tree. The bases get electrical wired into them. Washers, nuts, nipples, wire, cords, and sockets. And then they get boxed and either shipped or delivered. We have a pretty good division of labor on that. I do currently the pouring for the most part. Um, my father-in-law does the cleaning for the most part. He's pretty amazing at it.
Yes.
Uh,
But 20 odd years of experience will get you.
Allie does the painting for the most part, and Mom glues the lights in
For the most
for
part.
the most part. I do all of that minus the painting for the most part if needed. Like I'll glue lights, I'll wire the electrical. Usually I wire the electrical. Sometimes Allie wires the electrical. I box the big trees and Allie boxes the little trees. Sometimes I'll do the delivery. Sometimes we'll take a day and go together somewhere and do a delivery and then hang out in the area. How many-ish can you get done in an hour or a day? So the first thing that I had to learn coming from 25 years working for McDonald's, where I started, I know the math isn't going to add up, but in 1996 in a McDonald's franchise, working as a teenager, I worked for that franchise for 9.5 years, and then I spent 20. I spent 15 years with the one franchise over here. So anyway, all told, it's roughly 25 years. Working my way all the way up to general manager, where I had that position for 10 years. So like I get the concept of working quick and trying to get as much done as you can in an hour in a day. Um, but the thing with the trees is that it all happens in stages, so it's not like you can. It's not like you can just.
Each tree itself takes somewhere between 2 to 3 hours to make of hands-on working with just that tree. It takes anywhere from 2 to 3 hours. The problem is that 2 to 3 hours is over the course of a week because it needs 2 to 3 days to dry. It needs 8 hours in the kiln plus 8 hours to cool down in the kiln. It needs paint drying time. It needs to sit in the mold for so many minutes. So hands-on time for each tree takes 2 to 3 hours. But it takes about a week to get a tree done. So when we're busy, at any given point, we're working on 100 trees at once.
Yeah, right.
In the different stages.
Right. And so like pouring, I can pour for 4, 5, 6 hours, but then it depends on the pace. Like, um, the McDonald's in me wants to work harder than I should. In that, like, always have to keep busy, always like, so you pour and then you're waiting 20 minutes. I've become accustomed to taking some of that 20 minutes to actually sit and take a break. But like, the McDonald's in me wants to be like, okay, what can I do now while I'm waiting?
Yep. Slipping the bottom of the molds.
Slipping the bottom of the next set of molds, cleaning out the pouring machine.
Cleaning the top off of the molds that you've just poured.
Yeah, so I want to keep busy, but I've learned that like it's better to pace myself and take like 3, 4 minutes here and there during the 20-minute period.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the pouring end of things. But I know like if I go to pour something, if it's like one mold, it'll be like 20 minutes, half an hour, but probably about half an hour because I have to pour it. It's going to take me time to set the mold up, pour it. I have to wait the 20 minutes. I have to dump it out. So 25, 30 minutes for like one mold. But if I'm doing like several, the time that it's going to take to slip the bottom of all the molds, and by slip it, I mean put some of the clay so that it seals it on the bottom so it doesn't just leak right through.
As molds get older, they wear out, and where the molds come together, you wear away that material. So you kind of have to build it back up with some of the clay every time you pour. We buy our molds every year but they last us personally 2 to 3 years. You'll see the difference between a new mold and an old mold with how much detail there is in the tree, because you've lost the detail at that point, or at least enough detail that I'm not willing to sell it.
Yeah. So when it comes to pouring, if I'm gonna pour like a run of something, like 6 large trees or whatever, I have to plan that that's gonna take me about an hour because putting the clay on the bottom of the mold to make sure that it stays sealed. Then I have to wait for that to dry. Then I have to flip them over. I can only pour 3 or 4 of them at one time, depending on how much slip is in the machine. So that right there is 40 minutes because it's 2 pourings. Um, plus, once that 20 minutes is up, I have to individually dump each of them back into the machine and wait for it to drain out some and then put them back on the table. So, yeah, I mean, when it comes to timing, especially for things like dinner or other things that we need to um, like plan for, to like we have a deadline, like a hard stop, I need to factor in like, is it realistic to start pouring the next thing?
Right.
Just how my grow lights only last 2 to 5 years and need replaced afterwards.
What was that?
I see just how my grow lights only last 2 to 5 years and I need to replace them afterwards. So that's the pouring. And usually, depending on how backed up we are, I might just pour for the day for, 4, 5, 6 hours. But even that is a process because it could be pour it, leave it, go do something else. So like I've poured and then shot a YouTube video and then come back like 2, 3 hours later and then taken what I poured apart. So it's not usually a work day where you just sit down and do one thing, even if you are pouring. And pouring definitely, to me, it's like if you were going to start the day doing something, that's the thing to start with.
Yeah.
Because while it's sitting, you can be doing other things.
And before you left McDonald's, I would pour, go downstairs and paint, and then come back up and take apart molds, and then finish painting whatever I had started previously.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would load the kiln afterwards.
And then for you, you can paint while you're playing games, so that is another benefit. The molds need to be replaced. Yeah. And also, they need to dry out. So sometimes, if you pour them over and over and over and over again, I actually ended up ruining 2 of the extra large base molds because I poured them too often, but we needed them, and they got a crack, and then eventually the one just shattered into like I think it shattered into 4 pieces, and then it fell on the floor. Because obviously I wasn't catching all 4 pieces, and then it broke even more. The other one just snapped in half, so
I'll glue that back together.
So hopefully.
But yeah, January, we're heading down to Florida, and we're gonna place our order for molds at the ceramic show. We don't have to place our order there. But my parents haven't been to a ceramic show in years.
Disconnected, reconnecting.
Oh no!
OBS Studio.
Hopefully people are back again. I don't know. But yeah, we'll head out to Ohio, and we'll order the mold, or we'll pick up the molds, and we'll pick up stuff from National Art Craft out there, where we get our light pegs and electrical from.
So, I'd like to point out that this is day 12 of my eating the correct diet.
Mm-hmm.
And my back has not hurt me once.
Nice.
And
That's awesome.
So, but I would have been sitting. I would have lifted a couple things and then had to sit, and then lifted a couple things and then sat. So, Definitely doing something right.
You are. Good job.
Um,
All right.
I'm waiting for it to show here, but that's not the important thing.
I'm so excited that my bats came.
Can you go to the other side and help?
I could.
Because if we turn that, then this table can sit in here, right?
Oh.
And so something else that I'm wondering, if you want to do today is go to Home Depot. But then that's like time taken away from other things that we should do. Well, I want to get that basket for that. We need to talk in the living room.
Oh, they're coming tomorrow.
So,
The things. Oh, I wonder if they're actually here with the bats. I don't know if they were 2-day or 1-day shipping from Amazon. There we go. I'm gonna find that out. No, I can't. I can't get through the stairs. Okay. What was I gonna do? Oh, I was gonna move this table.
and the only other thing is like all of this stuff, but so you probably didn't really need a cleaning table set up currently, so we could fill this in with this stuff, right?
Yeah. And he wanted to help us take inventory on ornaments. So, can I have that nail right there?
Well, now,
Never mind. Oh, can't see
did
it.
you say we had Did you say we had I can't think. Do you think this is okay? Because like the tables aren't even.
Yeah, that's fine. That's not a big deal.
Oh, I remember now. Sheetrock. A piece of sheetrock for that shelf. So we have a flat surface to.
I'm sorry, can you put a piece of sheetrock for what shelf?
Over there.
Oh. Yeah.
He might not even use that for that. So
No, let's see what he wants to use it for.
he might just stick to tools in the cinder blocks, right?
Yep. Yep. Tools for cinder blocks. Or I mean holes for cinder block holes for tools.
Okay.
If you're not using that, do it.
So
Mr. Kinney. This can get thrown into the garbage can, which will push down the bags.
the question is about going to Home Depot and then getting. You ordered anchors, you said?
Yeah.
For our bed and for.
And for the clock and for the cat room. Yep. We'll chat in just a second.
The garbage too?
Yeah. I'm not sure I can this through.
Yeah, we totally have a bee in here. It's over that way.
Okay. Somebody tugged at this cord at one point. Well, guys, it was probably me. And here's the thing. I can't get through here without disconnecting the cord. And I don't want to rip my stuff off the thing. So we're going to say goodbye. Yes. Eating right is difficult. Actually, here, go ahead. Talk about what you're.
Yeah, so I knew that I needed to make a change because
Can you fit through there? Because you're skinny now.
I'm not skinny, but
I don't know. Can you fit through there?
I did what?
See how that's like off the edge?
Uh-huh.
I'm super concerned about that. Cool. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. But I don't know. Like the long and the short of it is that I went to a holistic fair in 2005, and I saw a Dr. Joel Furman talk about. The title of the seminar was "Eat to Live," which is also the name of his book, and I sat there and listened to him talk about how important it was to eat right while I was eating a cheesy burrito. And Allie reminded me that I went to a doctor and they wanted me to go on blood pressure meds and whatever. And so I decided that I was going to try what this Dr. Furman had suggested, which was using diet to fix your medical condition.
May I amend this story a little bit?
Okay.
He went to his doctor. His doctor didn't even talk to him. His doctor said, "Here's some meds. Have a good day." I had gone to the doctor with him, and that had pissed me off. So I took him to my doctor. My doctor said, "Here's meds for 30 days. Here is a diet. If you want to get off the medication, here are options."
Yeah, I don't even think I took it.
You didn't. And from that, he then went to Furman because Furman was stricter, and it was relatively the same diet. Furman's was just way stricter.
Essentially, high plant, low animal product, not vegan per se, and not vegetarian per se. Depends on how strict you want to be with it.
High nutrient.
But high nutrient density, where you try to make whatever you eat, or the bulk of what you eat, high nutrient. Lots of fresh fruit, fresh vegetables, some cooked vegetables, beans, and it depends, you know. I try to cut out as much fat as I can, and I mean, so that's what I did then. When I did it the first time, I was eating or drinking like diet soda and things. So like I had switched from regular soda to diet soda, but diet soda is terrible for you too. So any other time that I've done it, I have avoided the diet soda. But if I do eat like animal products, be it milk or a meat product, I try to go for the best option possible when it comes to fat content. So, skim milk instead of whole milk. The first time I used fat-free half and half, but I've also come to realize that processed foods are probably just about as bad or worse than the full-fatted animal stuff. So rather than fat-free half and half for coffee, I have been using skim milk in my coffee. And if I can't get skim milk for my coffee, I don't drink it. So like we went up to the restaurant the other day, they didn't have skim milk. I didn't have coffee. My plan was I would just have coffee when I got it. So, I have a very all or nothing personality though, so um, I can't like have a little bit of cream. I'm gonna have a lot of cream, and once I have cream, after I like make that hard stop, I'm gonna have it all the time. I'm not even gonna bother with the skim milk. So I know for myself that I need to hold myself accountable to make the best decision every single time before I eat or drink something. So uh, that's where I'm at. I will say, like, something that helps, but it takes a week to reprogram your body to recalibrate it. That when I eat things or drink things that I shouldn't, I usually feel terrible now. And that's motivation to not want to do it. So, like, there's pumpkin pie sitting in the fridge. Would I love a piece of pumpkin pie? Sure. In theory, in my brain, it sounds good. But I know that pumpkin pie is going to make me feel terrible. It's going to sit in my stomach like a rock. It's going to make my body feel sluggish. And this is going to sound really weird, right? But this is mentally where I'm at with food at this point is coming from that concept of eat to live. The bad stuff in the food can only get under my skin if it goes through my mouth. If I eat it, then it lives under my skin. The fat, the poisons and all the other additives that they add to like everything. So it is truly my choice what I decide to consume, and by consuming it, I am literally physically adding it to my body in one way or another. So that's been motivational to make the right choices too. Very deep, I know. I'm sorry if that was like deep, but that's the truth of the matter. But the real thing is that like
Kyle says, "Me too. I get it."
I would go to bed though, unsure if I would wake up in the morning. I was that like I don't know. I probably should have been on 2 to 3 medications, but I refuse. I refuse to take them. They're just poison. To me, they're just poison. I won't. I know that when faced with the choice of either eating properly and not needing medication, or continuing the unhealthy practices and masking it with medication, that the correct answer is, I know the correct answer is to eat properly and not take medication. So I just, one thing for sure with me, and I know I've let it go. I have. Like, I was all the way down to 160 pounds at one point, and now I know I was topping 300, but um, I can be very disciplined when I put my mind in focus. So, um,
So I'm not going to be wedging today. It's definitely not ready.
Okay.
So that is it tomorrow.
yeah, blood pressure. I mean, that was probably the biggest thing. Um, and I think one of my biggest.
It's terrible that Kara isn't giving. Oh, no. I already read that one. Sorry.
One of my biggest pitfalls, I think, previously is that I was only focused on my weight. I didn't even weigh myself this time because I don't care about my weight. It's not about my weight. I know I'll lose weight by eating right. So that's not my focus. I do look in the mirror and I like to see this slimming up, but truthfully, again, that's not my focus. My focus is I want to feel good. I don't want to feel like I'm going to die every night. I don't want to feel like, uh, I know that's morbid, but like, literally, I would go to bed and wonder if I was going to wake up in the morning because my blood pressure and like heart palpitations and like I was really bad. I will say that after like 2 or 3 days of eating right, I started to feel better. And now, I know I'm not 100, but I've got to be much, much better. And in fact, in Eat to Live, Dr. Furman says that if somebody were to come to him, now I don't think he's practicing anymore because he's old now. He's, I don't know, he must be 70 or something. But
he was probably in his 80s at this point.
Still looks great. But he said that if people came to him, they were on blood pressure medications and diabetic, like the first thing he would do, like within the first week, is half their blood pressure medication because their blood pressure would normalize just by eating it, and then the medication would lower it enough. So, but it would be bad where like I would be sitting down and stand up, and not that I would get dizzy, but like I would feel like my head would just, it would be bad news. I don't feel that anymore. Continuing to put stuff in the show on the top.
Yeah. You need a label for it?
I think we know what the catfish is.
Okay.
This is tarps for the mole. This one is heavy though. Yes, he was in this right away. Take his shelf. He doesn't even have it yet. He doesn't have it.
Take it and give it away. Or wait, give it then take it away. There we go.
Finish getting set up for tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I need a for
Ralph Fitzgerald that cares and gives. Yeah. Well, and you know, it's like twofold though, right? Because on one hand, I feel doctors are corrupted. They are highly incentivized by the drug industry to put people on drugs. And it's not to say that some people don't need drugs or that drugs can't help temporarily or in some situations, but like things that doctors will just automatically put people on medication for life for may not need to be that way. Like Dr. Furman, with this Eat to Live diet, has reversed people's high blood pressure, their diabetes. You know, you think you get a diagnosis of diabetic, type 2 diabetic, and you're diabetic for the rest of your life, but that's not necessarily true. There's other things I can't think, but those are the two big ones I know. And then, of course, preventing stroke, dementia, cholesterol issues. There's even debate, honestly, on the cholesterol thing. I don't want to go too far down that rabbit hole, but I'll just say that, like, your brain is highly made of cholesterol. It needs cholesterol. So you don't need the cholesterol in your arteries, but you do need cholesterol. So there's a theory that the cholesterol medications actually end up causing dementia. So Um,
Rabbit holes.
but I would say that regardless, some doctors are incentivized to immediately go to drugs. But on the other hand, how many patients are actually motivated to not take a drug? I don't think that. I think the majority either have just accepted the fact that as we get old, we need medication, um, or uh, uh, just don't want to break the life habit. Sure, I'll pop a pill if I can keep doing X, Y, or Z.
Can I have my phone?
I'm about as passionate about this as I am about gaming. So I haven't noticed.
And let's go back to gaming.
But I'll just wrap by saying there's definitely an issue in the healthcare system. Part of it starts very early, though, in that people aren't taught the right way to correct situations. And we're pretty much taught from an early age that when you get older, you need blood pressure medications, you need these things. It's just inevitable, and that's not true. But and then the doctors are incentivized to not. And then, though, in my case, I could say, like, I went to a doctor who told me, "Have you thought about blood pressure meds?" And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, I think it's time." And I said, "No." And she said, "Well, here's what you can do to not do this. Come back and see me, and if you're doing better, you won't need them." Well, I did better. I didn't need them. But then the next time I went back to her, I had slipped, and she was like, "It's time." I took them for a month, and then I started working on, like, I didn't want to take them. And I remember the first time that I swallowed that pill, it was hard. You sat there, watched me. Like, I didn't want to swallow it. I didn't want to go down that route. Uh, and after a month, I actually did better. My blood pressure was normalized. And she said I didn't have to take them anymore. And then I didn't go back to her. But honestly, if I had gone to her, she would have probably had me on 2 or 3 things, I think, at this point. Or, 2 weeks ago. Um, but my point in that is to say, I'm a patient that did not want to go down the medicine route, and I had a hard time, and I know what the right thing to do was. So um, I'm not going to put all the blame on the doctors, on the medic, like, but and I can't say that I'm the perfect patient either. That's where I was going.
No, you're an asshole.
Well, I'm not the perfect patient in that I can just do the thing that needs to be done in order to avoid the situation. So, um, I don't know. I lost it. That's what I was saying. But anyway,
Sorry, I call it like I see it. And with you, I can. I put squeeze bottles for the slip downstairs on the Amazon list.
yeah,
But if we get to a dollar store,
yeah.
I could probably just pick them up there.
Gaming, pottery, ornaments, and health channel. What don't you two do? I mean, I guess that's one thing too with this journey this time is, I was saying I'm not documenting it this time. I'm not posting to Facebook, hey, I lost 10 pounds in the first week. Hey, I'm down another 5 pounds the second week. I'm not doing that because I'm not weighing myself this time. But, I mean, it'll be documented on YouTube, I guess, through videos how I slim up in that. So,
The things did come today. The anchors did come today.
yeah, 'cause I'd also like to do this mail basket. I really think that'll be nice. And hang up your parents' sign. But I don't know. We did good. We did good. I mean, um, other than cleaning up the stuff that's outside now, I think we're in a good place for tomorrow.
Yeah. And my clay isn't ready to be wedged yet, so that's a tomorrow problem. But the other clay that I have in the other bucket is actually pretty darn close to being able to be put out on the board. So I'm thinking that tomorrow, after I wedge the clay, I can just spread out that other stuff right away.
You know, something that I feel like I need to say, though, is I'm not a doctor and I can't offer medical advice. Disclaimer.
Yes, feel like those disclaimers. Amazon delivered. Okay. I think we're done out here. I think I have to go prep for my game tonight. I'm going back and forth between. Now I know what I want to do. I was going back and forth between a Lich and a Draco Lich, but I think I want to stick with a regular Lich because I think the Lich is going to be one of the elves that dropped off the sea folk on.
If you're going with a regular Lich, it could be Jared. Jared Von Salvo, I think is his name, but he's the Golgari clan chief. Golgari leader. He's a Lich.
You guys just saw him in a meeting. No, this is going to be from Zuri Space.
Oh, okay.
From Zurisis. That they dropped off the things and he decided to stay and take over the world, the planet as his own.
Okay.
But I want like an epic Lich fight. Like a Lich fight done properly is what I'm looking for.
You mean not like the time that we dropped him in a fissure and that was the end of it? That was, I think, the first Lich that we fought. It was your first run of Silver Spoon Scarlet Inn.
Okay.
We fought a Lich, and
that was not an epic Lich fight.
No,
I failed so hard.
Ryan, I think, I used the Talisman of Ultimate Good and dropped him in a fissure.
Yeah. It was a bad Lich fight. That didn't feel good at all.
It felt good for us. We one-shot a Lich.
I mean, that's true. I guess.
But, you know, I think that's something that DMs do oftentimes not realize or take into account is that it feels good to curb stomp things as a player. It does.
Well, and that's fair. And that's why I kind of put the Vampirates back into the thing again. Because you guys fought them early on and you struggled a little bit with that fight. Not much, but you guys definitely struggled a little bit. And this time, you guys just walked all over them, which is awesome. Because you're higher level now.
Yeah. I think sometimes we get too caught up in, like, challenging players, but I can't think of a time that as a player I was like, this is boring because we're walking all over everything. Like, it feels good to walk all over things. Not to say that, like, a challenge isn't interesting and fun, but...
But I feel like a true Lich fight should be, like, interesting.
The problem is that the Lich in 5e is, like, garbage.
I mean, it is, but it's had time to, like, it's had
The Lich stat block sucks.
Oh, yeah, that's fair. Yeah, that's fair.
You need a tweaked stat block, and especially for, like, the level that we are. You probably need to homebrew a Lich. You can use it as a base, but you probably need to give it legendary actions. I love legendary actions, by the way.
Yeah, same. Going down, guys!
Legendary actions. But where I love legendary actions more than anything, DC 20. Because they just feel so good in DC 20. I don't know. Covering eyes, covering eyes, covering eyes.
Oh, it's the emojis.
Stuff they come up like that. But
Yeah, emojis don't come up right in Restream, unfortunately.
time. Uh, yeah. The thing with DC-20 legendary actions, although are they Apex actions, or is that the name that he went by for it? Anyway, the fact that they can spend any number of them in between a player's turn, and they can do anything in the stat block instead of just here's 2 or 3 options. It leads to some really epic gameplay.
Yeah.
In fact, my monsters that have legendary actions, including the Krasis from the Hunted, don't spend very many of their actions on turn. I have them mix up their legendary action points with their action points, like off turn, because they can, as far as I'm aware, and I can tell, because you can always spend action points to empower things or whatever. Like, they couldn't spend the regular action points off turn to move or to attack, but I have no problem with them spending it to empower an attack to give themselves advantage or something like that.
Oh, I can't get out. See. Moving. Trying to move. Say hi.
Hi.
So that's the shelf we built.
And it was over there.
Yeah, moved it from over there. We're all ready to organize ornaments tomorrow. And again, if you have a pottery studio and you think yours is messy, just look at mine, because nobody will ever have a messier pottery studio than me. Yeah. It's a disaster. We're going to work on that. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. And truly, we're going to actually sign off this time. So thanks so much for hanging out with us today. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
And if people want to know how to do OBS and all that fun stuff, let me know.